If you utilize this strategy at key points in the game, you're going to jump up hundreds and hundreds of combat rating, doing nothing other than what you should be doing literally already anyway. Currently in the game, I'm 75 Paragon level, and my combat rating is almost 2400. Now, I'm going to have a giant jump in combat rating fairly soon, and I want to share the method in this video on how you can accomplish this. Now, you're going to notice even though I'm 75 Paragon, I have 80 Paragon gear. That's because what I would recommend doing, let's say you are in normal or going to hell, or you're in hell 1 going to hell 2. Once you get pretty close to that hell 2, hell 3 point, hell 2 being 30 Paragon, hell 3 being 80 Paragon, for instance, what you want to start doing is farming in the tier above the tier you're currently in. So if possible, you want to go farm like an experienced group or find other people that are farming in the tier just above. The reason being is because when you get gear that is in a Paragon higher than the Paragon that you can normally be in, like a difficulty, it will drop as the Paragon it will be at a minimum, meaning at Paragon 2, it's going to drop at 30 Paragon minimum, but if you're above 30, then it'll drop at whatever Paragon level you are, whereas in Hell 3, it'll drop at 80. Now I'm 75 Paragon, which means I can go and farm 80 Paragon gear through things like overworld farming, for instance, and know that these drops here, like this triple, is going to be great stats for once I hit 80 Paragon. So in 5 levels, I'm going to get a nice big fatty upgrade. And I've done this with basically all of my farming for the last few levels. Now, there's a couple caveats to this. One of which is keeping in mind that in order to be able to farm the higher difficulties, you have to be able to actually have the strength to be able to farm it. But if I go and show you, it says drops equipped for Paragon 80 to 210, high difficulty, Paragon level too low to equipped items drop here. So when you go to the next phase, it's going to give you this warning saying your Paragon level is not high enough to equip items dropped here. The difficulty is above your recommended setting. But that doesn't mean that it's actually too difficult. Like, I'm actually significantly stronger than Hell 3, but if I swap to Hell 3, it's going to give me a warning as well. So don't actually think, because if I go to Hell 3, like Hell 3 is super easy for me. I basically one-shot everything, and I have, you can even see by going to your combat rating, if you want to see if you can do it, go to the rating you want to see if you can farm, click on your combat rating, and it's going to tell you, look at this, you have 277 higher combat rating of monsters in your current activity and difficult, increasing damage you deal by 13% and decreasing all damage you take by 11%. So you can see, even though it gave me a difficulty warning, I'm literally like too strong for the difficulty. So you might be thinking that, oh, I can't do Hell 2, like I need to be 80 Paragon or whatever. The Paragon actually doesn't do anything. Like, what does anything is your gear. So once your gear gets to the point where you can take on the next difficulty because you got some good drops or something, it's more efficient to start farming the next difficulty. Now, you're not going to get, this huge chunks of more experience or anything like that. What you're going to get is the gear. You're going to be farming the gear for when you hit 80 Paragon or 30 Paragon or whatever the next step is. If this video is months old, it's going to be 150 Paragon, right, etc. And when you hit those levels, that's how you're seeing people get huge 300, 400 jumps in combat rating. If you utilize this strategy at key points in the game, you're going to jump up hundreds and hundreds of combat rating, doing nothing other than what you should be doing literally already anyway. So in my opinion, it's one of the best strats, and I've seen all of the best players, including myself, all the people in my clan, all the people who have beat us, who are stronger players than us, all of the people utilize this same strategy. Another thing to keep in mind is that at different difficulties, different items drop. So if you're pre-farming like Hell 4, that means you can pre-farm rings. If you're pre-farming Hell 2, because you're almost 30 Paragon or something, you're doing the dungeons ahead of time, because the dungeons fall prey to the same thing. You can still farm them even if they're higher difficulty, as long as you have the combat rating for it. They'll still be like, oh, you're not the Paragon level, but it doesn't really matter. So you can farm Hell 2, you can start getting the necklaces. Hell 4, you can start getting the rings, etc. And then at that point, you can start preparing. Like, once I'm over 80 Paragon and getting closer to Hell 4, like 120 Paragon, wherever it'll be, I'm going to start farming these rings in advance too. So you can also get the set bonuses prepared, so that way as soon as you hit it, it'll be nice. Also, a lot of times you'll be hitting like 80 Paragon or something, you'll be pushing right before a big event like a Rite of Exile or Shadow War or something. So if you can pre-plan all your upgrades and then jump up this huge spike, it'll be really nice. Same deal if you can plan it right before like the challenge rifts ends or something. Try to give yourself that big spike of power right before your events end. That's pretty much it. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for liking the video if you liked it. Love y'all, and I'll see you on the next Diablo Immortal tips/guide/video.